Welcome to all. In this video, we will continue with the concepts of management of files. So whenever we talk about management, it is not just removing the files or creating the files or manipulating the files. So for searching files and folder also, it is one of the important thing, isn't it? So if you have, say for example, if you have n number of files, say 1,000 files, so out of 1,000 files, if you want to search one, then definitely you have to go for search option and you have to give some keywords or any unique words so that you can identify that particular file. So it is not just about text files, it is for image files also, it may be for a video file also, it may be for any kind of files. So ultimately, whenever we talk about searching, then if we have n number of files, then definitely we go for finding out a particular file which is required for you, isn't it? So searching of file also one of the important task. Okay, so it goes without saying that every good Linux desktop environment offers the ability to search your file system for files and folders. If your default desktop doesn't, because this is Linux, so you can always install an app to make searching your directory hierarchy in a breeze. Okay, so they are actually trying to say that, so if actually it may be any operating system or any system, if you have n number of files, you should be having the capacity and capability to find a one, isn't it? Say for example, you have say 500 images of your family. Okay, so you have named each and every file with your own effort, and if you have named it, so say for example, you want to find your brother's pic out of 500 random picture, then you can go for that name, isn't it? So if you know when you have clicked, so you can sort the image by time also, you can sort the image by size. So after sorting, you can go for finding out a particular file, isn't it? Instead of searching individual, you can go for sorting also, that is also possible. And even in Linux, sort command also there for sorting, so that is separate part of story, but here you can do it. Okay, you can find a particular file for your requirement. Okay, the next thing is the Linux find command is one of the most important and frequently used command in a command line utility in a Unix like operating systems. Find command is used to search and locate the list of files and directories based on the conditions you specify for the file that match the arguments. So they say that, so when you go for find command, so if you pass some parameters and or arguments along with the file name, then it will search an appropriate files which are present in that parameter list or argument list. Okay, that is a thing. Find can be used in variety of conditions, like you can find files by permission, by user, by groups, by file types, by date, by size, and other possible criteria. So they say that, so in the same fashion, you can go for sorting of the files also, isn't it? You can sort the files based on permissions, you can sort the files based on users, you can sort the files based on file type, date, size, and all. So sorting also possible using by considering these varieties of conditions, as well as you can search the files also. So you have to remember like that. Fine. Now there are some points. See, find files using name in a current directory. If you want to find a particular file in the present directory or current directory or PWD, present working directory, then you can go for the command like find dot space hyphen name of the file, name, what is the name, so space name of the file, that is TECMINT, techmint.txt. So now we are trying to find techmint.txt file out of in this particular place where we are residing. Okay, right now in which directory we are, from there we are trying to find the file name called techmint.txt. Okay, now you can ignore that dollar, because dollar is nothing but your shell, what kind of shell you are running, and it may be bash, corn, or in Linux there are so many shell concepts, okay, for shell programming, as well as what kind of shell you are running in your Linux platform. That is a separate part of story. Now you don't need it, but you can go for in sometimes you may find hash, you may find dollar, you may find some other symbol also, but ultimately you have to find the you have to consider the command find. From find you can see, so it is find dot represents the current directory. You are right now in the same directory, current directory. Okay, dot, you have to give one space, then hyphen name. So it is a parameter argument, you are passing one argument that you, after that hyphen name, so the system will understand that after that particular argument you have passed an appropriate file name, that is nothing but techmin.txt in this particular example. So this is how you can find the files in the current directory. Okay, now in the second option, see, find the files under home directory, if that is the case. So if you want to find the files from the home directory, then you can go for the command like find space slash home space hyphen name space again file name, that is techmin.txt. So why that is a slash home? Because you are trying to find the file named techmin.txt from where? From home directory, from home folder. That is the reason why you go for slash home. And you are not passing here dot. Why? Because you are not searching from the current directory right now where you are. There you are not searching, you are searching from some other place. Okay, so ultimately these kind of commands are required when you are mainly working on terminal. Fine. Now the next thing is find files using name and ignoring a case. So now if you want to ignore the case sensitivity, maybe high, capital letter, small letter, or mixed letters, anything. But if you want to find it, then you can go for the command like find space slash home space hyphen I name space techmin.txt. Okay, when you go for slash hyphen I name, then it will ignore the case. Okay, you are finding the file using name itself but ignoring the case. Fine. Next, find directories using name. So if you want to find the directories using name, it is not file, you are now finding the directories. Okay, now that is find space slash space hyphen type space d represents directory. So what kind of file, what type of file you want to pass, isn't it? That time you go for d. Okay, space hyphen name space techmint, capital capital TECMINT. So now you are not finding the file, you are finding the entire directory, you are finding the folder. Now don't get confused with the terminology. Directory and folder, both are same, but in Linux, when you are working on Linux, you should call it as directory instead of calling as folder. So many times I already repeated this. Okay, so this is now how you can find the directories using name. Okay, now if you want to find say specifically PHP files using name, you can find any kind of name files, but right now this example mainly highlights the PHP files. So any file name with the extension PHP. Okay, if you want to find the such kind of files, then you can go for the command like find dot. So when you see dot, automatically you should think that you are trying to search PHP file in the current directory. Okay, find space dot space hyphen type space f is nothing but file space hyphen name space what is the file name, that is techmin.php. Now it is not txt, you are trying to find the PHP file. So that in the same fashion you can try to search MP4 files, you can try to search JPG file, JPEG file, GIF files, or C program files, HTML files, PHP files, or Java files, C# files, C++ files. Any kind of files can be searched using this kind of syntax. Okay, now one more example, find all PHP files in the directory. Now if you want to find entire files, all the files which are PHP, then how can you find? So that time you have to go for star asterisk. Okay, asterisk symbols are used when you want to find the entire files which have the extension .php. Okay, in this case find space dot, so automatically you have to think that you are working on current directory, then space hyphen type space f represents file, space hyphen name and name of the file. Instead of passing a single name, you are going for double quotes star.php. So when you go for star.php, that means you want to list all the files which have the extension php in the current directory. That is the meaning. That is the meaning of that command. What is the meaning? You want to search a particular file then you can go for direct file name.php. If you want to list, if you don't know the name but you want to list all the php files which are available in the current directory, then you can go for find space dot space hyphen type space f space hyphen name space in the double quotes star.php. So that will list all the php files which are in the current directory. Okay, so this is how you can search the appropriate files using command and command terminal. Now you are not using cursor, you are not using mouse, just your keyboard and terminal, that's it. Okay, this is how you can go for searching. Now you have one more command to locate utility, works better and faster than its find counterpart, because instead of searching the file system when the file search is initiated, something find does. So locate would look through a database. So here you are actually directly going for database instead of going for file system. This database contains bits and parts of the file and their corresponding paths on your system. So it is better. They say that locate command is better than find, because in the find you are searching in the file system, but locate will directly get into the database. Okay, now you can see some examples here. It is locate space lamp setup.odt. So lamp setup.odt is a file. Okay, now you want to locate it. Now for if you run this in this particular example, they have acquired two paths, that is /home/techmint/lamp setup.odt, as well as /home/techmint/capitaltechmint.com/lamp. So that there are two files in a separate path. So if you go for locate command, it will directly get into the database and it will search everything. It will search everything and it will match if there any file name with the name lamp-setup.odt. That is better, isn't it? That is the reason why they say that locate is far better than find command. Now second is locate inside the double quotes, it is star.html and space hyphen and space 20. Now that means it will list all HTML files. It will list 20 HTML files irrespective of names. That is the meaning. So total 20 results you will see if you run this command locate space. Now you have to remember one thing. If your system has only 5 HTML files, what happens? It will list only 5. It won't go for 20. Remember that. Now don't confuse like that. If your system only contains 5 HTML files, then how it will list 20 files? It is not possible. So up to 20 it will list in this using this example. Say for example, in one directory, if you have 10,000 HTML files, then out of 10,000 it will list only 20. That is the meaning of this command. Okay, so it is irrespective of names. That is the reason why they have gone for star.html. So it will list 20 files which has the extension HTML. Okay, this is how this command will work. So this is another command for searching. Now you can go for Linux file system. So what do you mean by Linux file system and what kind of file system you have in the Linux? Okay, the majority of modern Linux distribution default to the ext4 file system. So in Windows you have NTFS file system, new technology file system. Okay, but in Linux, if you have already installed Linux in your system, you probably would know this. Otherwise, so in Linux it uses ext4 journaling file system. Okay, so ext4 is nothing but it is a type of file system which is available for Linux platform. Okay, for Linux flavors. Okay, just as previous Linux distribution defaulted to ext3, ext2 and just ext. Okay, so now what is ext? While Linus hacked away on the fledgling Linux kernel, Remy Card, that is the name of the person, worked on the first ext file system. So it is so file system means in what structure, in what way the files are available in the system. That is the meaning. So it will go for that particular systematic way of representing files as well as storing the files and showing the files. Fine. So first implemented in 1992, it seems, that ext thing. Okay, then after initial announcement of Linux itself, so they say that it is a history. Actually, ext solved the worst of the Minix file systems problems. There are, each and every file system will have its own problems. It is nothing like perfect here, but the key, they will keep on update it, they will keep on understand the concept, they will keep on manipulate the file system based on their requirement. That's the meaning. Okay, in 1992s, the ext used the new virtual file system, okay, VFS, that is a separate one. Okay, abstraction layer in the Linux kernel, in the abstraction layer, they in the Linux kernel, they used the VFS, virtual file system. Unlike the Minix file system before, ext could address up to 2 GB of storage and handle 255 characters file names. Meaning, so in the ext file system, it can address up to 2 GB, it seems. So address means that is the maximum possible thing. Maximum possible addressing in ext file system. So this concept is for a very old one. 1992 means almost 28 years back. Okay, almost 28 years back, this kind of concepts were there. Fine. So up to 255 character for file name means we can give a large file name of the file up to 255 characters. That is the mean. Okay, so it is the previous concept. Now in ext2, what happens again, Remy, that clearly realized ext's limitations pretty quickly. So there were some limitations for ext. It may be for handling issues or the performance, maybe anything. Okay, since he designed ext2 as its replacement in a year later, so after a year they have gone for ext2. So it was designed to start as a commercial grade file system. So it was for commercial thing along with the same principles as BSD. So that Berkeley fast file system. Okay, BFFS. It is one of the file system available. Okay, that is also one of the available file system. But usually in Ubuntu and all, while installing, they generally go for ext for generally file system. Okay, in then about ext3, after ext2 it is ext3. In 1998, 6 years after ext2's adoption, Stephen announced he was working on significantly improving it. So this is how, see, this is the beauty of open source. Okay, if you are a developer, if you have the idea of developing the things, then you can start your own code and you can implement it, and your name will be highlighted if the systems are very beautiful and efficient. This is the beauty of thing. Okay, so from sitting in a corner of your home, you can start working on it. That is the thing. So in the same fashion, these people tried, they significantly improved it and they rolled out. Okay, this became ext3, which was adapted into mainline Linux with the kernel version, some version they have given in 2001. So right after 9 years, isn't it? Almost 9 years. So 98. Okay, yeah. Okay, almost 9 years. This concept was rolled out to the public. Fine. There are three journaling available in a Linux kernel implementation of ext3. So journal, ordered and write back. So you have to understand what is journal, what is ordered and write back. So this is the simple theory concept. In textbook they have given very small concept for this. It is a very small concept. The file systems are very small concept, but I just wanted to give some rough idea for your knowledge. That's it. Okay, journal is the lowest risk mode, writing both data and metadata to the journal before committing to the file system. So this means, so what is committing? So in a database, probably you would know this concept of committing. So if you want to save something, you go for commit command. There is a command for SQL, isn't commit. So in the same fashion, after taking some data and metadata means it is a data of data. Okay, it will give the data, information of the data. Whatever the data you have, it will give the information of that. That is metadata. Okay, so it will what they say, it will writing both the data and metadata before committing. That is the meaning. Though in the journal. Okay, this ensures consistency of the file being written to. So it will ensure that the files are being written. So there is no concept of missing of data or missing of file. as well as the file system as a whole. So but can significantly decrease the performance, because each and everything it has to see, each and everything has to be written, means it will take time, isn't it? So performance will automatically decrease. Now the second thing is ordered. So ordered is the default mode in the most Linux distribution. It is a default one. So ordered mode writes the metadata to the journal but commits the data directly to the file system. So here the improvement is, it will just it will okay, the metadata, it will write the metadata to the journal, but the data will be directly committed to the file system. So journal will never deal with the actual data, so the directly it will go to the file system. That is the thing. Okay, as the name implies, the order of the operation here is rigid. First metadata is committed to the journal, second data is written to the file system. So for metadata, initially it will be committed to journal, then this data will be returned to the actual file system. So this is the second one, ordered. The third one is write back. So write back is the third and least safe journaling mode. In write back mode, like ordered mode, metadata is journaled but data is not. So in this case, the metadata will be journaled but data is never be journaled at that time. So unlike ordered mode, metadata and data alike may be written in a whatever order makes sense for the best performance, but offers a significant increase in the performance, but it is less safe. Okay, so it is not safe because you are committing the metadata but you are not touching the data, so actual data will not be touched at that time, isn't it? So there is a possibility of loss, there is a possibility of manipulation, etc. Okay, so this is how ext3 was dealing. Now ext4, the order T's it is Theodore, that is the what is that name of the scientist, maybe a developer. Okay, so announced ext4 in 2006. So ext1 was ext3 was rolled out to the public in 2001, but ext4 announced in 2006. It was added to mainline Linux 2 years later, that means 2008. Okay, in kernel version they have given some version. So TS was describes ext4 as a stopgap technology which significantly extends ext3, but it's still reliant on the old technology. He expect it to be supplanted eventually by the true next generation file system. So that is his vision when he was trying to develop. So they have gone for enhanced feature and functionality than the ext3 in ext4. Now you can see one difference. Some difference are there for ext4 and ext3. One is backward compatible. So ext4 is backward compatible, it can directly get into the ext3. Okay, now large file system. So ext4 will have large file system than ext3. Next, allocation improvement. So ext4 has more improvements in allocation concept. Now extents. An extent is a range of contiguous physical block. So up to 120 MB, assuming a 4 KB block size. So they can go for extend. Range will be range of the contiguous physical block, they said. So it will be more in ext4. Next, multi-block allocation. Again, ext4 has more than ext3. So it can go for multiple blocks for the allocation. Next, unlimited subdirectories. In ext4 we get unlimited subdirectories, but in ext3 it was limited. So up to 32,000 subdirectories were possible in ext3, but in ext4 you can have any number of subdirectories. Okay, next, the last thing is fast file system checks. So if there are any issues and errors in the file system, in ext4 it will search very fast, but in ext3 it was little less compared to ext4. The speed of file system check is less compared to ext4. I was considering about the ext3. So these are some of the points which you have to remember for file system, as well as searching of the files. There you have seen 2 commands and you have seen some file system concept also. So these are some dry theory concepts you have, but it is important. I'm not saying that it is, I'm not neglecting here, but it is important because if you are trying to install the Linux operating system, you should know what kind of file system you want to. So it is ext4. There you will see ext4 journaling file system. That time you will remember my explanation, or you will remember this concept of ext4. Okay, so these things are, available for practical knowledge also. It is important. Okay, so you just have a glance over this. That is enough. Okay, so let me wind up the video here. Okay, the rest of the concepts I will put in next video. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching. Yes.